Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. I am Haley Smith.
And I am Brittany Scott. Today's top stories include a hostage situation in a Delaware prison and Texas's first transgender mayor.
These stories and more coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, Tarleton announced Tuesday that the director of the university's global campus, Dr. Anthony Edwards, has been selected to chair the technology committee at the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History. Edwards, who was named to the Board of Trustees in 2015, started at Tarleton in 2012 and is responsible for the university's online learning program. Museum Board President Van Romans said that Edwards possesses a great passion for technology and emerging communication platforms that make him a strong leader for our committee.
In regional news, the Stephenville Empire Tribune reports that Tarleton student Fisher Rinderneck has decided to start his own drone business called Flight Reach Productions. Drone flying is something that Rinderneck has been interested in since childhood. Rinderneck's drone shoots in ultra-high definition, can shoot in slow motion, and connects with up to 26 satellites. With his drone, he is able to video real estate listings, special events, aerial inspections, sport photography, and more. Rinderneck is hoping flight production takes off, literally.
In Texas news, the New York Times reports that a Texas mayor announced she is transgender. Mayor Jess Hurst of New Hope, located about 40 miles north of Dallas, released a statement on the New Hope website saying she would no longer go by Jeff. Ms. Herbst said in an interview that as far as she knows, she is the first openly transgender mayor on record in the state of Texas.
Now for today's national news from the Associated Press. On Wednesday, at least 4 guards and a counselor were taken hostage by inmates at a Delaware prison. One hostage was pronounced dead, and a second hostage was rescued and was sent to the hospital. All state prisons were put on lockdown for a full facility sweep. A spokesman for the Correctional Officers Association of Delaware said that inmates took control of one building and a number of inmates and officers were injured. Surveillance videos showed people surrounding a stretcher and running as they pushed it. It is unknown if a person was on the stretcher. Rogers indicated that there is a very little communication between inmates and the outside, and no demands have been communicated to the union. According to the department's website, this prison is Delaware's largest correctional facility for men, housing about 2,500 inmates.
In international news from the Associated Press, 2 Ukrainian troops have been killed in the country's industrial east against the rebels. 10 other troops were wounded as they fight on their 5th day, said Ukrainian government's press office for military operation in the east. 2 Associated Press reporters on both ends of the conflict heard multiple grenade launchers during the night. Both the rebels and the Ukrainian government in 2015 committed to ceasefire and withdraw heavy weaponry, including grenades. The rebels have been fighting the government troops since April 2014 in clashes that have killed more than 9,700 people. The reason for the current fight is still unclear. For more of today's national and international news, we turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Australia's Prime Minister says a deal to resettle some Muslim refugees in the U.S. is still on. Australia had rejected the group. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull isn't commenting on a report that President Trump called the agreement the worst deal ever during a phone conversation. Protests turned violent on the University of California, Berkeley campus as Breitbart editor Milo Yiannopoulos was set to speak. Police canceled the event when they determined they couldn't guarantee his safety. Authorities in Delaware negotiated through the night with a group of prison inmates. The inmates were still holding 2 prison staffers hostage. 2 more were released earlier. And video from Hawaii's Big Island shows a fire hose stream of molten lava shooting out of a volcano and into the ocean. The gusher opened up earlier this week. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In sports, National Signing Day was up and running with high school students all over the United States committing to colleges of their choice.
Tarleton's Twitter page was full of announcements welcoming whooping 26 new recruits for the fall 2017. Of the new class, 13 came from Tarleton as transfers and 13 from high schools. This gives Tarleton 11 new players on offense, 12 players for defense, and 2 specialists.
According to Tarleton Athletics, Coach Todd Witten says he's very thankful for his coaching staff and their families for putting up with the long hours and many miles they have traveled over the last few months. He added that the new recruits are a quality group of kids who can help this team win football games.
With that in mind, let's take a look at the weather for the week. In Stephenville, we are saying goodbye to the warm weather we've been seeing. The National Weather Service reports that today will be cloudy with a high of 46 and a low of 37 degrees. Tomorrow is slightly warmer with a high of 53 and a low of 45. This has been a production of the Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service, from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.
Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune into Northland Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news.
Today's broadcast was produced by Dylan Craig, Ashley Inge, and Caitlin Riviera. Have a wonderful day, Texans.